with Nerd Rage Against the Machine, and today it's going to be a very different event. We are not going to be just live streaming a game, pardon me, but instead we're going to be setting up for our campaign. Going forward, we are going to run a campaign of Vaesen, Nordic Horror Role-Playing by Free League Games. Nice shot of that cover there. And so tonight we're going to start with two of our players. We're going to build characters, build some relationships, and kind of start a session zero. Unfortunately, not all of our players were able to join us. Some may join us live, I'm hoping. But we're going to go from there. So without further ado, I'm going to just introduce our players. First up is Greg Lewis, who's been with us pretty much since we started streaming, I believe. Welcome, Greg.
Yep. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I think I got the screen name from previous game, I think.
That's okay. That happens, man.
Doing well. How are you doing tonight?
Good. And we're going to go ahead and bring our next guest in, which is Sean Fitzpatrick, a.k.a. Fitzy McFitzface. How's it going, Sean?
Well enough. How are you guys doing?
Fair enough. So each of our players does have a digital or physical copy of the rule book. And just for those of you who are interested, a digital copy will be given away next week through this video. All you need to do to enter to win a copy of the digital copy of Vaesen is 1, subscribe, and 2, put the character names of Sean's character and Greg's character into a comment in our comments section. With that, you'll be entered to a chance to win a free copy of Vaesen, the digital edition. Without further ado, I know you guys have.
Do not read past page 110.
That's what I've been telling them all week. To that end, I take it you guys have had at least a chance to flip through what is there. Again, wasn't expecting you to read it cover to cover or anything.
I think the only one of us two that could flip through anything was me.
Fair.
You can't really flip through.
Yeah, that's true. I kept trying to flip my phone, but you know.
It just wasn't, it didn't turn the page. It just made the stuff go away.
Yeah.
Okay, flip and or scroll.
All right.
Alrighty, so we're going to start with some basics. So you guys are going to be building characters who are part of a group called the Society. The Society is a group that is dedicated themselves to hunting and studying Vaesen. Vaesen are strange spirits, creatures, monsters, things that go bump in the night. It is 1800s Sweden, in the city of Upsala, which is spelled different in the game book than it is in real life. We've talked about that already. But in short, it's a big, bustling city. And each of your characters will be somebody who has the sight. You can see these things. Not everyone can. Even when they don't want to be seen, per se. The one thing you'd also note is that things have been strange in that world lately. There have been more violence to it. There's been more them piercing the veil more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with the basics, and I'll wait for Sean to get back here.
Sorry, I didn't have a character sheet printed out.
Oh, that will do it.
I thought that might be useful for our activities today.
It might. It definitely might.
So
heck, I even printed one off, and I don't need one.
It's printing now. So
gotcha. Well, let's start with some basics, because the first thing is really more of a choice than it is a character sheet needed thing. So starting on page 26 of the book, you're going to see a list of what we call archetypes. These are the basic concepts for your character. So the first thing is, I think, going to be choosing one of these archetypes for each character.
What page are we on, Jamie?
Page 26. should start with academic.
I think that's where I stopped, was on those pages.
Fair enough. And while this is not a class-based system, it's not a bad idea to note your archetype. I believe there's a place for it on the character sheet, even yes, there is. This is not too dissimilar from Tales from the Loop, where you have your type of kid. You know, whether you're the bookworm or the weirdo or the or what have you. So the main ones are going to be academic, doctor, hunter, occultist, officer, priest, private detective, servant, vagabond, and writer.
Greg, what are you thinking?
Oh, I hadn't honestly thought of yet. I honestly had not thought. I mean, kind of torn between. Occultist kind of sounds cool, but then hunter kind of sounds interesting too. They're kind of opposites of the extreme opposites there. Hunter would be, take it looks like you're trying to hunt, or basically the things down, and then, if I'm understanding correctly, cultists might just be totally embracing it. What were you thinking?
Well,
I was thinking.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jamie.
Sorry. Also, hunter might be somebody who is not necessarily. We're not maybe necessarily talking about monster hunting at this point, but more
Right.
just this is your background. You're a tracker.
Could
you're
also
hunter,
be like
you're
a bounty hunter.
Could be a bounty hunter. Exactly. Sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
I was thinking occultist for myself. I would say another option that we really don't have this option since we're doing character creation now. I'd love to ask the chat, or had we done like a Facebook or Twitter poll saying what archetype should Sean play, what archetype should Greg play, but since we don't have that at this point, I can play anything. I could go with priest, or Greg. I've got a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How about if we both play priests, but one of us is the old priest and one of us is a young priest?
Oh dear
We
Lord!
could. Is this like The Exorcist?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm just being funny. I'm happy playing anything. I like the idea of the occultist. The search for why can I see these things, and why do I have the powers that I have? This is, what is this? 18th century, 19th century Sweden.
Yeah, 19th century, effectively.
So, but the 1800s, the beginning of the Industrial Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and what I'm able to do would be heresy, and we still live in a world that is. I mean, I know this is a fictional world,
Indeed,
but the real world allegory is, if I'm found out, they'll still burn my ass at the stake, or see if I float in water as an occultist.
agreed.
So I think that dichotomy that I have these powers, but I have to be careful where I'm using those and how I'm using those. And if I were to go around saying, "What, you don't see the brownie standing there?" The
Making rude hand gestures.
Yeah, you don't see that brownie there. That's not something I can do. I can't, because this is prior to Freud. This is before Freud, and people that who see things like that, they end up in chains. So,
And to that end, and I'm completely right with you what you're saying there, Sean. Keep in mind that this society is still somewhat of a secret thing.
you mean like the Illuminati that rules the world with the Rothschilds and the Bilderbergs?
I was going to think more like the Ghostbusters,
Oh,
combination of fantasy and.
I was thinking of the Dutch.
There you go. That'll work. So, saying that though, we so Sean's thinking occultist.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Not
still
that
kind of
you can't
torn.
play-
Yeah.
You can play the same thing. Nothing's wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what would be best for the game. Wish I kind of knew more about it. Let's see. Yeah, I mean the hunter would be good. I mean, doctor is a possibility too.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I might also go with writer.
That's a very good possibility.
I think you know what? I think I'm going to go with writer.
Okay.
Let me look at that a little bit more.
Nobody ever wants to be the servant.
There you go. We could be Sean, the officer. I could be your servant, quartermaster.
I don't want to speak for Carter, but he seems officer to me.
Oh,
he
he
tends
seems
to play that
there you
type
go.
of character. But yeah, maybe he'll do something different. Greg, you might enjoy Vagabond, or I don't know. I know if Nicholson were here,
Oh, okay.
he'd be playing a Vagabond, I suspect.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about the Vagabond option here. Oh, the Vagabond.
So as a writer, one of my dark secrets or potential dark secrets is I am wanted for revolutionary ideas.
Wow, I never would have expected you to take that, Sean.
I just hope I don't have to move to London. I believe that the workers of the world should unite. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Revolutionary ideas.
Yeah, Vagabond kind of appeals to me there a little bit. Kind of like the Artful Dodger. Kind of that's your rogue character, I guess.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be one to do.
Urchin.
Yeah.
Swindler, thief.
Let's see.
A prototypical ne'er-do-well.
Scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Something like that.
Hold on just a second. I realized a small problem that I want to avoid.
I'm going to try to see. Does the looking through the PDF, is there a page that has the character sheet? How do you get one?
Should be the back of the book normally.
Oh, back of the book. Okay, I'll look for there.
I can send you. I already got rid of the link. You can just do a Google search for Vaesen character sheet. It's right there as PDF.
Yeah, that's possible.
There we go.
Yeah, I was going through the PDF right now.
Wasn't plugged in.
You can't. Yeah, it's not the one I found wasn't
form
fillable, so I did have to print it out, but that's okay.
Hey, Sean, you're on mute, I think, buddy.
Am I?
I hear him. I can hear Sean.
Testing 1, 2. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
My problem. 1 second.
This sounds like more of a Jamie problem and less of a Sean problem. Nemesis. Are you going Vagabond?
Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, that actually does kind of appeal to me. That's kind of a way to hit back at society.
I'm going Occultist.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. My machine went to mute. Sean, I still can't hear you.
That's because I'm
now
mouthy.
Yeah, I figured as much, but
Nemesis.
bastard.
We can use sign language. Oh.
I have a sign for him. That's for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to get kicked. Oh, great, Sean. Now you're going to get us kicked off YouTube.
Is this channel marked as mature content?
Yes, it is. Yes,
So
it
I don't
is.
fucking care.
Then you're all right then.
That's why I fucking did that.
I did the same thing when I streamed Monster Hunter World because I knew that I couldn't play that game without cussing like a fucking sailor.
Oh, whoopsie darns. That monster just bit my head off. Okay. So the next big choice that we really want to make here is your age. And this is a rough guesstimate. It doesn't have to be a specific, like, I'm 17 and a half. But basically, are you young, are you middle-aged, or are you old?
This has to do with the older you are, the less attributes you have, but the older you are, the higher your skills are.
That is correct.
Very similar to Tails. Where with Tails, the younger you are, the more attributes you have, but the fewer skills that you have. As you grade.
Tails, it was you had lower amount of stats, but you got luck points in lieu of the
Oh,
stats.
that's right, luck points. Okay.
Yep. So in this game, it's a little different. It is just a straight trade-off. So if you're considered young, which is 17 to 25, you get 15 attribute points and 10 skill. If you're middle-aged, 26 to 50, it's 14 attribute points and 12 skill. And if you're old, which is over 50, you are getting 13 attributes and 14 for skills. I just realized next month I'm at the point where I can start looking at being into the next category. I lose an attribute point. Getting old sucks.
I will be doing that in just a few months. I will be 51 in June.
I will be 50 in May. So,
but look at it this way.
Yeah, I'm
if
53.
you're young.
Yeah, I'm 53.
If you're
if I remember,
young,
Jamie, you and I got the same birthday.
Do you really? Just different years?
Yes, May 5th.
May 5th,
Nice.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Cinco de Mayo.
So if you're young, you get 25 total points. If you're middle-aged, it's 26. And if you're old, it's 27. So if you're looking at straight number of points available, being old is where to go.
Hang on, I'm having a bit of a my computer. I thought it was plugged in, but it's giving me a battery low error message here. So hang on, trying to
Sure
figure
thing.
things out. Ugh.
So how old is your occultist, Sean?
51.
51. You're an old man.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, I'm back. Had to have the wrong thing unplugged.
Fair enough.
Yeah, my computer is suddenly going, you're low on power. You're about ready to die.
Yeah, I just saw the same thing on mine. My screen went dim, and I'm like, what?
Oh, well, I kept wondering. I kept getting darker and darker. I'm like, what? I know we're playing a dark game, but
Yes, but
yeah.
let's
I
keep
think-
it in theme, not in power consumption.
Yeah, I think I'll probably play younger. I think Vagabond. It's usually it's better to play young unless. I mean, yeah, there are some older Vagabonds that are kind of like the classic, whatever guy that was kind of the charmer, but
Sure.
I think the younger is better to go. So young is, I think you said 25. You said points.
Up to 25 is considered young. 26 to 50 is middle age.
Okay, is that the age? Okay, that's the age. Okay, so 25 is the age. Okay, that's the years. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So then what
Okay.
you'll get is 15. So if you're going to go with a young character, Greg,
Yeah.
you'll get 15 attribute points and 10 points for skills.
Okay, hold on. 15 attribute. And I'm sorry, you said 10 points for skills?
10 points for skills.
Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, finally I got a character sheet printed off here.
Fair enough.
Turn some more lights here so you can see better. Okay.
So on your character sheet, basically you have 4 attributes. You want to divide that point pool of 13 for Sean and 15 for Greg among those 4 attributes.
I think the cat there definitely is a vagabond.
Yes. If he's not some sort of Vaesen already,
Is the max 5?
the max would be 5, yes.
Oh, 5 that you can put for an attribute, you mean?
Yeah.
To start with? Okay. Okay, and so is the. I mean, I assume physique is a physical. Yeah, I'm sorry, I haven't had a chance to look through the book yet. As much as precision, is that like dexterity or something, or
Yes, precision would be like your dexterity, your agility,
okay?
logic for your brains, and then empathy for your social.
Okay.
Now, one other thing that you can use those points for, the skill points that is resources. I believe your character archetype starts with some amount of resources.
1 to 4.
I guess I need to get to the page.
So basically, that's how many you can have.
So, Jamie, when we're looking at these archetypes,
Yes, sir.
so I'm starting at the top here. I've already got my character's name. His name is Linus Skarsgård.
Okay.
He's 51, so old. Occultist. His motivation
Mm-hmm.
is, I think, one of the suggestions here is learning about the Vaesen,
Yes.
and I think that's where he's at.
Okay.
I have this power. I've been granted this power. Why have I been chosen? What do they want from me?
Fair.
Okay. In terms of my trauma,
Mm-hmm.
that fateful event
Mm-hmm.
after which I had received the sight, I believe that the mayor of my town, rural village, wronged my family. And all I could think about was revenge.
Okay.
And a creature I could not see whispered to me, I can give you what you seek.
Okay.
So that's my trauma, was the vengeance I seek against the mayor of my home village.
So, in short, just so that I understand, what you're telling me is that whatever atrocity the mayor did is the trauma, and then the fact that the creature told you that it could help you square that or get revenge is when you first learned the power.
The mayor of the village raped and murdered my daughter.
That'd do it. Just 1 second here.
And my dark secret may or may not tie in with that.
Okay.
I am guilty of a heinous crime.
I could see that.
Okay. Now, this box down here at the bottom,
Yes.
so where it says my preferred or my main attribute is precision,
Right.
is that I get a bonus to that, or what does that mean?
I believe it's just a matter of what they suggest for you.
Okay.
I'm double checking
do
that
I-
now.
Okay.
Oh, I take it back. Actually, Sean, it is no attribute can go beyond 4 except for your main attribute. It can hit a 5.
Okay. Then I'm good. And then my main skill, what does that mean?
Okay, let's see here. Again, you can spend no more than 2 in any skill, 3 in a main skill. And then for your resources, you need to spend at least 1 point of skill points into resources. Bare minimum.
One more time.
You need to spend 1 of your skill points into resources, bare minimum.
So I can spend between 1 and 4 skill points into resources.
Correct.
Excuse me. Okay. But I have to spend at least 1.
Correct.
Okay.
And then for talents, you'll get 1 of the 3 talents listed on your character's archetype.
One of the talents.
Correct.
And what page are those talents listed on? So I could hear it. Never mind. I've got it. It starts on page 49.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So as for your vagabond, Greg,
Yeah.
he disappeared.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I had to go to another tab to be able to see the. Sorry, I didn't know if I'd turn off the camera or not. I was trying to go to another tab to be able to see the rule book.
Zoom tight.
Zoom tight.
All right.
Yeah, to go to another screen to be able to see. I was trying to look at. It's a little bit easier to look at on a computer than it is on my phone. But yeah.
Sure, absolutely, totally understandable.
Yep.
Is there anything I can help with when it comes to that?
Yeah.
So basically, we need to put your name in, which you
Yeah.
can figure out.
Okay. You know, we call him Asker Crab.
Okay.
So I can, if you want me to update here on the screen here too.
If you wouldn't mind, same with you, John, if you get a chance.
I'm there. Still got to figure this. Okay, I got edit name. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't use umlaut. You got too many B's in there, Greg.
Oh, I do.
For anyone who's in the contest, the 3 B's will still count. I won't argue.
Oh yeah.
You already made the comment.
There we go.
There you are.
Just figured there was a special on the bees.
There you go. Okay, motivation.
Let's see. Well, I was thinking about something like I was thinking about like a sister was either taken by the Vaesen or maybe fell in love with the Vaesen.
Okay.
Thought maybe something like that.
So are you searching for your sister then?
Yeah, I guess I'll say searching for sister.
That'll work.
I'm trying to use something like that. Okay. Still figuring this out.
Jamie, can I look at page 123? That's useless to me.
I'll say yes.
Doesn't matter. It says powdered stag's horn. You can use observation to resist the temptation of Vaesen. That's not going to work for me. My empathy is 1.
Gotcha.
So I'll be taking a tinderbox.
All righty. So then, Greg, I presume that your trauma might have something to do with your sister's loss?
Yeah, I think so. I was going to say, well, I was going to throw something to do different. Let's say I was, I could do that. Yeah, I'll say, sister was taken.
That works. I mean, that's certainly something that would get, that would tie the two together.
I could say dark secret. Maybe I was like one of those, like it was, I was dead for a little bit, like kind of like those near death.
Well,
no, that's not very dark secret, though.
Yeah, you gotta keep in mind this is something that, if came out, could really screw you.
Okay, could mess you up. Okay, I'm still trying to figure something out.
Okay.
And you can look at another archetype and see some inspiration. You don't have to.
Yeah, I use the exact same. Okay.
Yeah. These are
now,
also.
When I go to another, when I go to another tab, do I disappear from the screen?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I disappear. Okay,
I've seen your head duck off screen, but not like.
Okay, I just really have to go to another tab to be able to see the
Some examples that they give in the book would be like things like drug addiction.
Mm-hmm.
You persecuted for your religion. Maybe you murdered somebody. Sold your soul.
Wow, I got to tell you guys, empathy is kind of a big deal.
Indeed.
As I'm looking through this equipment, it's a lot of. You gain a +1 when you use investigation in the wilderness. Well, investigation is logic, but there's also the cooking pot. You can cook with inspiration, which is empathy.
Right.
You get a +1 to observation, which is empathy when you're searching using the tinderbox. So just something to think about is that when you're looking at your attributes,
Don't short empathy.
like I did. But you know what? I'm a method actor, so I'm just going to be completely unempathetic.
I guess dark secret. I could say I killed somebody.
That'll work.
I killed some. I kill you. Silence. I kill you.
You kill my father. Prepare to die.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jamie,
Yeah.
in terms of weapons, I have none.
You
And
want the
I would like.
You have a nun?
What's-
Is she a warrior nun?
I have nil. I would like to purchase a ranged weapon.
Okay. So what you're going to want to do, one moment.
This is part of the preparation phase. So we should probably wait on that.
Okay.
That's what I'm reading on page 73.
All right. Let me. Okay, so basically, Sean, how that would work is you would roll your resources check to procure the equipment.
Jamie, what type is this a D6 system?
This is exactly like Tales from the Loop in that respect. It's a D6 system. 6 is equal success.
Success. Okay. So I roll a number of D6s equal to my resource value.
That is correct.
And what is capital? I got 1 success.
Okay. So basically, you can buy any one availability item. Now, if you're shopping during a mystery, then that's when the capital comes into play.
Okay. So effectively, the best I can do is buy a bow.
Yes.
I will buy a bow.
All right. And again, that those resources will change because you'll be able to use eventually. You'll be able to use your headquarters resources as well, which will affect this.
Okay. I think I'm ready to go. I need to set up my relationships with the other other members of the society, but
Which, yeah, Greg is the only one we're going to worry about tonight.
Yeah, I'm still trying to work through the other things. Like, is there something like you said you spend, like, you have your skill points and you spend at least one of them in resources?
Correct.
Okay. All right, and then I guess I need to figure out as far as how you spend skill or how you put points for skills.
So stat point. Did you get your stats already?
Yes, I did. Yeah, the attributes. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, skills. You have 10 points as a young man.
Okay.
It's 1 per 1. You can't spend more than 2 in a single skill,
Okay.
except for your main skill. So if you look on Vagabond, I
Yep.
believe
Manipulation is what he. Yeah.
you can spend 3 on manipulation.
Okay.
Everything else you can only spend 2. That way you've got a chance to have an edge in your most known stat
Okay.
or skill. And then don't forget, you also get 1 talent from the list below.
Okay. Okay, so the talents that are listed for the archetype, I just pick one of them.
Yep, pick one that you like.
Okay, got it. I think I'll do the hobo tricks. That's a good one.
Okay.
The tricky. It's tricky.
It's tricky to rock all night, to rock all night, to rock all night. It's
That
tricky.
time, It's tricky.
Exactly. What's wrong, Sean?
Oh, I opened Word and it's asking me a bunch of crap.
You'll have that, unfortunately.
Is there a certain amount of like starting money or something like that for?
That's what resources is for.
That's his resources. Okay, so based on how much skill points you put in resources.
Yeah, basically what'll happen is normally you'll get to roll a resources check, and that's how much availability you have.
Okay.
It's not specifically cash. It could be, like,
Yeah.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like years ago, funny, weird story on the side of this was I got offered by 2 friends to buy me a gun. Real life. I didn't take either offer.
Right.
But one was a total stoner who's like, it'll cost you $50. It's $50 for the drugs that will trade for the gun. The other friend was a cop. Like within the week, they both had offered me this, and his, of course, it was like, it was going to end up being like $600, but it would have been, like licensed to the hilt. Any cop who stopped me with it would be like, oh, okay, yep, I see all the paperwork, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I figured it out.
What's up? You got your umlaut. And for the purpose of the contest, if you don't put the umlaut, we'll still count it.
I did all of that hard work to get that umlaut in there. They have to include the umlaut.
So the last thing I think we need at this point, Greg, how far are you along in character
Well, see, I'd put down skill points, and then I don't know where is advantages under your is that under your archetype?
Is what under your archetype?
Oh, advantages.
In talent? No, advantages, I see.
Yeah.
Advantages is on the character sheet, but I don't see.
Yeah, and then I also have to figure out insights and defects. Or I assume that's something I need to have. It's on the character sheet. I'm not sure if that's something you normally do for play.
Well, let me take a look here, because.
Yep.
Okay, advantages are things that are going to happen in game.
Okay, got it.
But we can roll for mementos.
Yes, you may roll for mementos.
The fresh maker.
I was just thinking the same thing.
So since I don't have different colored dice right here, 56.
All right. So you got a sheet music from a forgotten master. Greg, you want to roll me a 2d6?
Yeah, sure.
Kind of in the
Greg,
percentile
one at a
format?
time.
What's that?
I was just telling Greg one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time.
I did a 1 and a 4.
Okay. Oh, you still have your father's cane.
Okay, and where do I put that under my equipment?
Memento.
Memento at the bottom of the sheet.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. I pretty much. I mean, my archetype, I include like a knife. I think that's primarily my primary weapon, unless I decide to try to get something else.
Right.
I put it. Yeah, I just put it resources as 1 because I figure a vagabond. I'm not going to be a rich guy.
Fair enough. And eventually you'll have the chance to improve that as time goes on.
Oh, sure. I figure that. Yeah.
Well, you technically have a knife or a crowbar. I mean, either one could be a weapon.
Yeah, true. Well, I figured the knife will be primary weapon. I took knife instead of crowbar.
That's fair.
I'm trying to see what other.
What if we need to open a crate, Oscar?
Then he breaks his knife on it. Alrighty. So you have your stats, you have your skills,
Mm-hmm.
you have your talent, you have a memento, and you have your base equipment, your dark secret,
Yeah.
and your motivation and trauma, correct?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and then relationship that's like the relationship I have with the other player. Then with
Correct. So that's the next thing is
okay.
talking to you guys about how you know each other.
Ah. Well, I'm constantly getting in trouble, I imagine.
True.
I like to I especially like to steal from the rich and keep it for myself. I mean,
When I fled my village and came to Upsala, it was important for me to maintain a low profile because I may be wanted for a crime that I had committed.
Correct.
And so I believe I would have met Oscar when I first arrived in Upsala.
Upsala,
and-
actually. Even though
Yep.
it's spelled with a U, it's an A.
I thought it was Upsala.
It's Upsala.
Upsala. Up.
You say whatever you
I
say
was being-
tomato, I say tomato.
I was just being
Anyway.
I was just being
Anyway, so he helped me to learn the street etiquette or the rhythm
Mhm.
of the Upsala underworld.
And good places to hide.
Places to hide, people to fence with.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So my relationship with him is he taught me the etiquette of the street, the etiquette of the underworld.
If you slip some extra brandy in the night watchman, he falls asleep, and it's good. You know, and he can.
Then all bets are off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going to put that Oscar taught me the rhythm of the city.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what we're looking for. The stuff I see here is Oscar is hiding something from the rest of us. Oscar brings me peace.
Well, and
Or
like I said,
Oscar-
those are suggestions. I think you're
Right.
fine with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, I don't know if this is of this caliber, but that's what makes the most sense to me, given our
Mm-hmm.
Right.
our,
And
our, our
officer,
different
how would
backgrounds.
you how would you think of Linus there?
Me? Let's see. Well, he probably saved my butt at one point.
I'm an old gentleman.
Oh, you're an older guy. Okay. Well, he still could have saved my life at some point. You know, I could have
Yeah.
been, yeah. He could have yeah, I could have been about ready to get like caught by the guards or shot by them and say, wait, no, I know that guy. He's whatever.
Dad.
Yeah, exactly. I'm his son or his grandson or something.
All right.
Yep.
Go ahead and note that down.
Okay.
Maybe something like I trust I trust Linus to keep me safe.
Okay. Okay, that works.
All righty.
And I'm guessing that the next time we meet for this game, it will be for Carter and Steve, and we'll need to set up.
I'm going to reach out to Carter and Steve and see about building characters with them some other time.
Then we'll have to start with our relationships with them as well.
Right. Well, I think we'll just have to do some of that stuff offline, unfortunately. I was really hoping that we could have this session 0. Like I said, the way that the system works, I think it's fine for people to jump in and out if needed. But this session 0 is the one time I didn't want that to happen. So
Life happens, man.
I hear you.
It's the world we live in.
Exactly. So the last thing I'm going to bring up to you guys, there is an old woman in town by the name of Linnea Elfklint. Linnea is kind of infamous in town. She's a crazy old lady who swears she's seen ghosts, goblins, and the whole 9 yards.
Doesn't seem so crazy to me.
Exactly my point. So what I would like from you guys, kind of homework between now and our next session, is to figure out how you've met her, how well and how you know her. And again, she's on the street. She is also somebody who is, she has been locked up multiple times in the Upsala asylum. But if you've heard her ghost stories, I will just say that both of you, at this point in your lives, have had enough experience with Vaesen to know that they have some ring of truth to them. It's not just, blah, I'm the king of jelly beans. It's, she said something that made you go, okay, that wasn't just bull. She's dealt with something.
And so you need us to tell you how we met her.
Right. Kind of give an anecdote about her and, in your day-to-day lives. Whether it was, like at the bar, you heard her, overheard her, or...
Oscar and I were able to procure some bread, and we brought it to the alley where the small folk gather around fire barrels, things like that.
Okay.
And saw her there and offered her bread, and sat by her fire to listen to her stories.
Okay. As she realizes what you've done, as far as offering bread to the wee folk as well as to just her, she hands both of you a small leather satchel. The satchel has in it a deed and keys, specifically to Castle Gillencrease.
She's from the society, or the old society.
She was from the society, yes.
But she's done her time and she wants out.
More or less. On the map, right there is Castle Gillencrease.
Gillencrease?
Gillencrease.
I'm spelling that however I want.
That's fine. But that will be your character's new home away from, or your actual base of operations.
So right now, Greg and I are like the Jeffersons. We're moving on up to the east side.
Yep.
To a deluxe apartment in the sky.
More like a
moving on up.
Well, let me explain what moving on up looks like.
Just so you know, Jefferson is son of Jeffrey.
True. When you open the doors, the place is dilapidated.
Or you might say, son of Jeff. Jeff is cool.
Dear Lord. Okay. This is a 3-story building. It is a castle with battlements. Pretty sizable place, too. However, there are holes in the roof. There are small animals inside the house. So you will be spending some time whacking things with a broom. Most of the furniture has cobwebs. There are 2 other things of note. One is this place has a very extensive library.
I'll be spending time there.
Cool.
Yes, and so these are your first 2 upgrades to your headquarters. The first is that. The second one is within the first few days, an old man. You keep seeing an old man kind of puttering around the outside of the estate. Eventually, you come to some confrontation. Whether that is you pull a knife on him and ask him what the hell he's doing here, Oscar, or what have you.
Yeah.
Once he has established that you have the deed, he will explain to you that his grandfather used to be the steward here.
It just so happens we're looking for a steward.
Well, you have one. His name is Algot Frisk.
Your first task is to make this
I
place
get what it
livable.
is.
How about?
Yeah.
Please make this place worthy of the presence of Lord Oscar.
Lord Oscar?
That's
Look,
not
that
how
might
I
be
spelled it.
Oscar.
But I'm not
Okay.
bloody stupid.
Algot, I believe we're going to get on famously.
But he will definitely do what he can to aid you. I also did put the name of the castle and the name of the of Algot into the chat.
Okay.
I see that there. I will say this, and this may just be my age speaking. The castle can't support itself. I would like Algot to explore or investigate the purchase of additional farmland to support our continuing operations.
Actually, the grounds are decent for that. This has some sizable grounds with it. But what it is
Within
going
the
to take,
city.
Within the city, correct. Gillencreuse has its own courtyard, and it does have some places for gardens and other things. Now, this is the GM talking to the players.
Mm-hmm.
To make that happen, every adventure, we're going to ask you questions that are going to give you experience points. After we worry about experience points, you're going to get build points for your base.
Okay.
So from there, you may spend those build points as you wish. Noting that this is still a somewhat secret society, however.
We don't want to make it all gaudy and shit.
Well, not only that, but anytime you build onto it, anytime you improve it, I roll a check based on how many points it costs for what you're building. Every success, the GM gets to create a snag in the plan.
Hmm.
You know, so it's...
Can we build a bat cave?
Morning there, neighbor. Looks like you're building a bat cave. Is a possibility, yeah.
We
So
have Albert.
Al got to be, is he going to be Albert?
Yeah.
Alfred, you mean?
Yep.
Who's Alfred?
Sorry.
Exactly. That's basically it. We at least have our first two characters.
Okay.
And you guys have a basic idea of how you got how you found the castle, what the castle has in store for you. And going forward, we will start adventuring. Now, for those players who did not get to make it, I will reach out to you and we will build you a character one way or the other. And then we will, try to reach out to Sean and Greg as well to get you guys all some sort of attachment. How
these guys who just couldn't show because they had other things going on, like work or getting well.
Them bastards.
Life.
Bunch of cunts.
Again, this is not a video for kids.
I've been watching a lot of Jim Jeffries stand-up, so apologies.
No problem. But from here, that's basically all we had tonight, was to at least get the character started and kind of get those relationships built.
Okay.
So we're gonna crack it out a little early, I guess. And again, thanks for showing up, everyone. And
see you in a couple weeks.
See you in a couple weeks with an actual adventure.
Yep. All right.
Whoever you are watching, all one of you, take care, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.